This month, the trackside butcher shop in Campbellsburg is celebrating 10 years of operation.
In this room, we do all the breaking down of the carcass.
With nearly 30 workers, it's one of the largest employers in Henry County. The cold storage area,
Careful, it is very slick in here.
filled with rows of dry aging bovines waiting to be broken down into steaks, stew meat, and ground beef. Co-owner John Edwards tells Spectrum News prices right now are at the highest levels he's ever seen, which is affecting processors like him.
If people don't want to put it in their own freezer, then they're bringing less cattle to us for processing.
Federal data backs up what Edwards is seeing firsthand. At last check, the price per pound of ground beef will set you back more than $6 and has steadily risen over the last few years.
A lot of people are buying way more ground beef these days. Not selling near as many ribeyes in New York and fillets, those higher dollar premium cuts.
The price of beef has gone up as the price per head of cattle has risen to an all-time high. The Kentucky Cattlemen's Association says the situation benefits ranchers, but it does translate to higher costs for consumers.
It's not something that can be corrected overnight. It takes a while, like I said, for those cows to have a calf, and then that calf gets ready for processing. It takes time.
The organization's executive vice president, Dave Maples, explains it could be years before the country's beef stock, that currently is at a 75-year low, will start to increase. Once that happens, prices, he says, should begin to come down.
As the price of live cattle raise, we have to raise the price of ground beef.
Higher costs, he says, are leading people to make their money stretch, electing to go for cheaper cuts or cheaper alternative meats like pork or chicken. This butcher shop owner believes prices have gotten too high and hopes to see a correction industry-wide.
All this that you're seeing being processed today is going directly to the consumer, the end user.
Lower price per pound would come as a relief for everyone. Reporting in Campbellsburg, Mason Brighton, Spectrum News. A goal 5 years in the making has now become a reality for J. Divine Cuts Alexander.
I drummed up 15 ideas, and the state used 8 of the 15 ideas.
Back in 2020, Alexander submitted this list of safety precautions for barbershops to follow, allowing them to get back to work in the midst of the pandemic. But it also gave Alexander another idea. What if Kentucky would allow for mobile barbershops?
For one, it's developed and it's working in several other states,
And so, through his relationships with lawmakers and stakeholders, paired with his background as a paralegal, Alexander's law change would happen earlier this year. It became law on Friday.
Man, that's amazing. I feel good because I used every piece of education that I've ever gotten to be able to get to this point.
The new regulations state mobile barbers have to be associated with a brick-and-mortar location. Just like in their normal settings, there's also various health and safety measures which have to be followed.
It gave me a newfound vigor that I needed for business.
Like Alexander, Terrace Horton in northern Kentucky pushed for this regulation change. Soon, he will take his craft into the community once renovations on this van are complete. Horton also says he'll use this law change to give back to others and intends to offer haircuts to VA hospital patients, the elderly, and others in need.
They come to me for conversation. They come to me for camaraderie. They come to me for confidence. They come to me for a relationship building experience. And that's what I want to take on the road and take it to people.
While Alexander says he doesn't have plans on going mobile himself.
Of course, you would need clippers, the tools, But you also need sanitation box.
This advocacy for change will give others the opportunity to further their careers. Reporting in Louisville, Mason Brighton, Spectrum News. The message written on the front door reads, "Currently closed, sorry for the inconvenience." At the Louisville Puppygram location, the lights are dimmed and the doors locked. When we called the store, a worker from Puppygram's Indianapolis location picked up. They said their Kentucky store was closed and they weren't sure when it would open again. This 17-page ruling by Jefferson Circuit Court Judge Tracy Davis might explain why. The order, dated June 12th, states Puppygram is the only business known to be violating the city's pet store ordinance, which went into effect last October, and rules the business is prohibited from selling dogs or cats at their Hurstbourne Parkway location or any other establishment in Jefferson County.
So we were relieved because It seems like this will be the end of the Puppy Mill Pet Store pipeline in Louisville.
Todd Blevins with Humane World for Animals supports the judge's ruling, adding that accounts from people who've purchased animals through PuppyGram speak for themselves.
And we received so many complaints from people who said, look, I purchased a puppy and within days of getting home, it was sick, sometimes violently ill.
Others in the animal welfare world feel similarly about the company. That includes Deborah Miller with No Kill Louisville, a nonprofit primarily focused on providing pet supplies to families in need.
I believe that the buying and selling of these animals, you don't know where they're coming from. Many of them were sick. I witnessed that at the state fair when they brought puppies to the state fair during the summer every year.
The organization also works with Feeders Pet Supply, operating in accordance with the city ordinance, which allows rescues to partner with pet supply stores to have animals there that are up for adoption.
It's really a wonderful thing for the cats and the dogs to be able to quickly find homes.
Blevins adds this ruling doesn't require any business to outright close, nor does it prevent them from relocating elsewhere in the state. We did reach out to try and speak with PuppyGram about the ruling, but did not hear back. Reporting in Louisville, Mason Brighton, Spectrum News.